Okay guys, I thought I'd come down here today in the woods, and I happen to be walking around, and it's springtime, and I thought I'd do a few videos on some spring wild edibles. And the first one that I've come across so far is some wild onions. So I thought I would show you what they look like, and the easiest way to dig them up and all that good stuff. So I'll be right back with me. So it's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Ohio, and I've come across some really fabulous wild edibles, which is wild onions. There's whole bunches of them here and here, and they come up, sometimes they come up in little bunches like this, sometimes they come up all nice and scattered and stuff. It just depends on what you're looking for. Another big nice bunch back here, and well, I figured we'd dig up couple of these little bunches, and I'd show you what they look like. And they're right about at their prime right now, because the greens are very, very edible at this stage, and once they get a little bigger than this, the greens start to get a little tough, and you know, then all you can really eat is the bulbs. So we're gonna dig some of these up, but first I'm gonna show you how to make a digging stick, so you don't have to dig with your knife like I've seen other people do. I'll be right back. So first things first, I went out and I found myself a little stick. Cut it off. Usually try to find a hardwood stick, something that's either really good and dry and still strong, or even a green stick will work. But try to stay away from the rotten ones, because they'll just end up breaking on you. And really, you could dig it. You could easily dig them up just like this, but I like to put a little. Just a little edge on the end of my stick, like so. And really, that's all there is to it. I like to put a nice little flat on there. That way, it's kind of reminds you more of a shovel. And you know, just a nice flat on there. It'll help you with the digging. You know, other than that, you really don't need anything else for this. So I'll stop the video right there, and we'll dig some of these onions up. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to come over to them and just kind of figure out what I want. This is a pretty good bunch right here. Another good bunch actually right here. It's a little off camera, but that's okay. We're going to do this bunch. It's about the biggest bunch. There's lots of little bunches here. We'll just probably leave them. I'm only looking to get enough for dinner tonight. But before I even pick them, the first thing I want to do is make sure they are wild onions. And wild onions are one of the easiest things to tell if it's a wild onion. Of course, obviously, it's got the tube type stem, which is remicet, which will remind you of green onions. And the sure sign of a wild onion is you just take a little bit of it and roll it up, crunch it up in your hands, and smell it. And if it doesn't smell like an onion, then it isn't an onion. So now that I know it smells like an onion, it looks like an onion, we're going to dig some of these up. And the way I like to do it is I like to just get down underneath there, like so, and just start digging them out. I like to pop them up from the bottom, kind of get everything broke loose. Wiggle them a little bit. This will probably last me for the next couple of days, because you can eat the greens and all, and we just use it to add to other things, so you know, it's not really a big deal. But anyways, once you get that big root ball out, of course I try to put everything back, and I'll probably put some leaves over it, so it's a do not disturb type of thing. But then you end up with big ball of these, and all the roots are tangled up. Start separating them a little bit, and you'll see that, you know, each one of them has a tiny, tiny little ball on it, and you know, you can tear the roots off and pull that first layer of dirt off there, and first layer of skin. And you know, one thing nice about wild onions is they're perfectly edible just the way they are. So now that I got my wild onions and stuff, I'll put them in the bag, and we'll move on to a new batch of something else, because there's a bunch of wild edibles out here today, so I'm going to make 3 or 4 videos. But anyways, just to show you guys, here's the cleaned up wild onion that I cleaned up. Perfectly good. Actually, this time of year they almost have a little bit of a sweet taste to them in the beginning, and then it gets a little hot, but really good. And you can eat the whole thing, green and all. At least this time of the year. Get later on down in the year, you're not going to want to eat the greens. They're going to be real, almost grass-like as far as hard to chew and stuff. And I won't say woody, because they're not really woody, but they're just not very good to chew. And I've even tried cooking them, and they still seem like they're just real tough. So try to get the greens in the spring if that's what you like to eat. Okay, thank you.